GM Farcaster. Today is Friday, December 6th. You are here with what do I say? With Adrienne.
And Nounish
That's
Prof.
me. And Nounish Prof for 29-ish minutes of Farcaster news to start your day.
This
It's a
is
very,
episode 191, but literally Adrienne's opened the show like 3 times.
how am I doing, guys?
You're
It's a
doing
very special episode because Prof is at Art Basel in Miami having the time of her life. I am
We're
pulling
having a
links
time
and
of it.
trying to figure out how the heck she does this every day. And we have a special guest joining us in about 15 minutes or so. We've got Matt, the CTO and co-founder of Dune, who will be joining us to talk all things analytics and blockchain and Farcaster. So I'm
Amazing.
excited.
Amazing. I love Dune. I mean, it's just such an incredible tool. So I'm really excited that we have him coming on. And I need to I didn't even cast. Like I
No, you
didn't even
didn't.
cast about the show. So I'm hoping you did. So I'll recast that because I did not.
No, you didn't. That's why no one's here yet.
Yeah, totally.
I can
Totally
only,
didn't.
I can't walk and chew gum at the same time. So
All
I'm doing
right.
better.
Yeah, I'm casting now.
So I'm excited though for the show today because there's actually a lot of things to talk about.
There's so many things happening right now.
Um,
Yeah. So hit it. Let's
all right.
go.
Let's get into it. And let's start with where you are.
You ready?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm in Art Basel, and that's my background right there. That's an actual wall in Wynwood. So if you've never been to Miami, the Wynwood area of Miami is just the art focused area. And it is very there's a takeover during this week every year, and there's always new art that goes up. And in the past, probably since 2020, increasingly the art is NFT related. So there's a huge CryptoPunks wall. It's amazing. Like there's a Cryptodes wall. There's all these different walls all around Wynwood. Plus just, the regular art that's there is incredible as well. And so this is now on the wall in Wynwood. And this was outside of the event last night for Pudgy Penguins, which was amazing. They took over I'm hoping my sound's okay. They took over Fun Dimension, which is a giant like arcade laser, all that kind of stuff, because they do have a couple arcade games. So got to play those, claw game and another fun little jumping game. And then they had a big announcement, which is they're launching a token, $ Pengu. This is more in the lines of like an ape coin, not in the lines of like what we're seeing with meme coins right now that are launching constantly. So in other words, it's going to launch with a lot of liquidity. There's going to be an airdrop, all that kind of stuff. So very exciting. Lot of fun.
That's
just
awesome.
got some new merch. I'm very excited. Got some new merch. I will probably be airdrop some Pengu because I have my little Pengus. Yeah. So that's fun. And
this is a new little frame.
And this is a new little frame. By the way, this is in the composer actions. You can find this in the composer actions. When you go to cast, if you want to create a little frame with photos, you just click that particular composer action from Nadar and you upload the photos, give it a name, and you can rearrange them or whatever. And that's it. And it creates this little frame. It's like
super
2
cool.
seconds. Yeah, it's cute.
And if you don't know what composer action is, check out Farcaster 101.
Exactly. Check out Farcaster 101. One more thing about, 2 more things about this, about Pudgy Penguins. First of all, Luca Netz is one of the best CEOs, like bar none. He's like on a Jesse level. He was, and this is what he does at every big event they have. He was outside walking the line while people are waiting to get in, saying hello, says hello to as many people as he can. So that was just, just another amazing, like, he's just so good with that. And then the token is going to be on Solana. So so penguins are on Ethereum. So that sounds like an opportunity for a Pudgy Penguin Farcaster strategy if I've ever heard one. So
yes,
immediately last night I got back to the hotel and I'm like emailing Luca. I'm like, okay, now you really need a Farcaster strategy because here's what. Because you could token gate things by the Ethereum NFT and then airdrop or do whatever or tip or create rounds or whatever with the with the Solana token. So might be a little solution there for them. So
Very
cool.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, aside from that, you were also very busy yesterday.
Yeah.
Cast Out is starting on Monday, and we have 8 tribes.
We got our tribes.
8, 6?
We got 8 tribes. Yeah. 8 tribes. They are set. I have to set the final one. I haven't given that final one, the FCOF or the oil, $ oil tribe. I have to give them their island, but the rest are ready to go. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We've got the purple tribe, yellow, Burr Friends, Peacock, Foamies, which they created a channel just for their team. Girthy, based Evo, and FCOF, which is the oil, $ oil. So very excited. I've had some really like surprising folks kind of jump out of the woodwork and be like, hey, we want to sponsor. Hey, we want to help. So we will have a lot more announcements about all of that on Monday morning on GM Farcaster. And then we have a cast out edition at noon where we'll launch the game officially. We'll have the first challenge will kick off and we'll announce all the players and all the fun stuff. So yeah, excited. Yay. It's gonna be fun.
I can't wait. We're doing a daily noon show maybe to talk about Cast Out. And I think I'm most excited that these are tribes playing. Yeah. Because one of the best parts about the beta season or whatever you were calling it was the team challenges. Like it's really fun. So this will be good. And I think people can get tribal and we'll get
I saw that play out. I saw that play out where like I just felt like everyone enjoyed those more, the tribe ones. So I was like, okay, I think I need to extend the tribe part much longer and then just make the final thing be the individual play. So that's how this is going to be set up.
Is there a starter pack yet of players, cast out players? Okay. So
that's how I'll announce it. That's how we'll announce it.
Get starter some followers pack for all the players.
Yep.
And
so that's what I'll do. I'll do a starter pack of all the players, and that's how we'll announce the players. Good idea.
Yes.
Great idea.
Well, while you were busy, having the time of your life in Miami last night, I was at my laptop coding, and I hate coding. I don't know if I've told you that recently.
No, you haven't. I thought you liked it.
I was so excited to spend all day. I had like uninterrupted focus time to work on our bot, and I couldn't get it finished in 4 hours. And then I had to leave my family and all of my responsibilities in real life to go back to my computer at night to get it working. This is why I don't like coding. Anyway, bot is getting a little bit smarter. It can kind of have conversations. It's still really, really dumb. So bear with me, but we're making progress.
Awesome. I'm so excited.
And
I love watching this unfold. It's great.
I should have started with this massive news. This
is we started with, you can tell, we started with the pudgy penguins.
Of course we have penguins. But this is really the news. Congratulations to DWR, who is the White House AI and crypto czar.
Okay, everybody, we gotta pull this back for a second.
Why?
Some people are gonna think you're serious.
That's fine. Just stay with me for a minute. I'm not serious. Am I? This is posted in memes by Nonlinear, if you don't know by now.
Sometimes that channel tag is really important.
Okay, let's start with this. DWR, if you were on Twitter, you saw this. David Sachs has been announced as the next administration's crypto and AI czar. Whoa.
So I saw this first, and I thought it was a joke.
Oh,
like I thought it.
Oh, you get news on Farcaster?
The real news. I got my news on Farcaster, and I was like, "Is this serious?" I had to go then check to see if it was real because I was like, "I don't know if he's kidding or if this is real." So this is wild.
How do you feel about it?
I think it's if it was a tech czar or something, it would make more sense to me. For David Sachs, I feel like he hasn't been as deep in the crypto side of the industry. So, I mean, I don't think it's a bad choice at all. Like, I think it's like great, but I just think for the crypto part of it, I feel like there are probably some better choices, but there's also some really worse choices too. So I'm okay with it.
I don't know if we need the bet, right? Like it just at the end of the day, you're saying crypto and AI are important. You have someone who's,
Who
this
believes
is
that.
actually an operator VC, not a bureaucrat. It could have been, right? You could have appointed someone who's like a professional politician who knows nothing. So I think it's great, even if Sachs is not your favorite of All In. And let's be honest.
Definitely not my favorite of All In. But I mean, I do think my comment was this is big news for techno watermelons everywhere, really. So
yes, congratulations, V. That's who we should be congratulating.
Congratulations, V.
I did like the podcast really had the 100,000 million% ROI in it.
Yeah. Totally.
To which I said, watch out. We will be social media czars in 2028.
God. Lord help the rest of the world. Yes, more screens. Ours will be more screens.
While we're on the memes, and I meant to start this. This is just a classic. Good morning, everyone. It's what effing day is it now?
Yeah.
Which is exactly how I felt when I woke up this morning.
Yes, that's how I felt when I saw this meme. Because I had no idea what day it is. And we've got Matt's rolling in. Matt's will be with you in just a second. We're just finishing up a little bit of news and we're going to bring you on up.
Let's I was going to do a little clanker news first.
Okay.
But let's bring Matt's up and get him on clanker. If you're ready. Matt, you ready?
All right. Let me bring him up.
All right.
Hello.
GM.
I brought out my Dune GM cap just for this.
Love it.
Oh, nice. Love it. That's awesome. GM.
What was
Go ahead, Adrian. You're running the show today.
Oh, no, that's what I was going to say is Matt's. I've been saying your name. Is it just Matt's?
Yeah. Mats.
All right.
It all works.
Welcome to the show. I've seen you getting more and more active on Farcaster, and it makes us very happy. So I know you have kind of a busy day today. So we'll try to keep you in and out in 25 minutes or so.
Awesome. Appreciate it.
Yeah. I normally we ask people to like introduce themselves and tell us like what you do, but I think everybody knows about Dune.
I'm happy to do that actually. I think I'm Mats. I'm the co-founder and CTO of Dune. I've been active on Farcaster this year, I think. I don't remember exactly when I started. What else? I'm based in Switzerland. So it's winter now. It's not very nice here where I live.
How's the weather? I'm in Miami, so it's all very sunny here.
Yeah, exactly. The good news is that it's raining here, which means that it's snowing an hour south, which is the Alps. So it should be a good season.
That's good.
Are you a big skier?
Not a big skier. My co-founder is like a huge skier.
I've seen his videos.
Yeah, he is very, very good. I'm more of a climber myself, but I've gotten into skiing since moving here.
Are you both?
You guys have life insurance out on each other?
That's a good question.
Well, which question?
Sorry, hers first. That was a much better question.
Well, what's the question?
I said, do you guys have life insurance out on each other?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. I hope so. Hope the company has something.
Yeah.
And if you don't know, and Matt, I guess I haven't seen any of your videos, but I've seen Frederick doing like flips on skis.
I am not able to do that. I am a little overconfident, like going fast on my skis downhill, but I don't really get on jumps. I used to do snowboarding when I was younger, and I can do some jumps on the snowboard, but now that I'm older, I'm just a little bit too lazy for the snowboard. There's so much walking and carrying around and stuff. So
yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of work.
Yes.
How do we feel about now that I'm older?
Now that I'm older, I know, but I'm just going to let that go. So I'm going to guess he's probably 20 years younger than me. So yeah. All right, Adrian.
All right.
move to
Okay.
your
So
next
yeah,
question.
so Mats, I have some Dune stuff to talk to you about, but first we're going to continue with some of the Farcaster news, and you can
and get your take on it. Yeah.
yes.
Wait,
All right.
You
So I
ready?
wanted to chat about some
I'm waiting for
Clanker
her to
stuff.
get it ready.
I know.
When you're ready. So
Okay.
usually I run the show. I'm away. I'm traveling. So she's running. She's clicking the buttons, and sometimes that is an issue.
Yes. It's
So, all right, Adrienne.
okay. So this from Proxy to Clanker. Clanker, did you know that you are currently number 3 project tracked by DeFi Llama on Base for cumulative fees revenue behind
Crazy.
only Base itself and Aerodrome?
Crazy.
What?
Yeah, that's
Very
crazy.
What are we
crazy.
seeing here?
And it's been a month. It's been a month.
Yeah.
It's crazy. What else? What other Clanker news do you have for us?
After which, Proxy, Yo Martin, Clanker sent Ethernet 67,000K for 67K for deploying Loom, 10.71 ETH and 1560 Loom. Hope some of that can help you continue to ship cool stuff that inspires us all on Farcaster. So Loom was the token that Clanker and Ethernet collaborated on, and Proxy, or I guess it's really Clanker sharing fees back with Ethernet and Martin, the developer. So super cool to see this.
He's been shipping out all the notifications for the fee split that he's been sending out. So that's been really cool. For the next version of Clanker, there's a claim. So you can just go in and claim, but that wasn't built into the first one. So he has to do these manually, but that's why you're seeing the notifications going. And it's crazy. Like the amounts that are going out are wild. So yeah, very interesting to see. And we talked about the FAR economy. And it's fascinating to like watch that developing because you have people earning off of this and then putting it back in and the wheels are turning, which is kind of cool.
What is like the genesis of the FAR economy? Is that degen, would you say?
Yeah, maybe a little before that. Not necessarily the tokens, but if you think about an economy from like just the barter and trade kind of thing, you had Bountycaster before that. So you had people doing bounties. You had to, there was some little pieces there, but I think degen sort of put it on a different level where, okay, now you've got, something else going on here. That kind of kicks it off and then kicks off all the coins. But yeah, so what do you think about everything that you're seeing happening right now on Farcaster?
I think it's really hard to keep track, which reminds me of DeFi Summer. It reminds me of, I don't know if we have a name for it, but when NFTs took off, like suddenly you have this moment in time where you just like cannot process everything that's happening in the space. And I feel like that now, where it's like there's so much going on. I have a really hard time just like scrolling my Farcaster feed or on X, and like there are airdrops, there are clankers, there are X and Y, and I've lost track of it.
I was gonna say this. I was gonna say this, Adrienne. There's Larry.
Matt, do you mess with meme coins?
I've tried. This app called Interface?
Yeah. Of course.
We love Interface. Weiju, I think it's called, the founder. Like, I know him a little bit. I've been playing around with this app. I think it's really cool. I've copied his trades and lost money.
Be careful who you copy trade. Be very careful with that.
Well, I think most people do, right? Is that the definition? Probably that most people are losing. But it's fun, maybe. I don't mess with it. But right, if you're trying to keep up when you've got AIs launching, like we've got AIs this cycle. So if it was fast last time, what are you going to do?
Super speed right now. Yeah. And I agree. It's really hard to keep up on what's happening. And so especially when I'm doing something, I'm traveling, I'm trying to focus on something, I'll come back and we do a news show about Farcaster. So we're like on here all the time. And yet there's still things I'm missing because there's so much. No,
I see all the tabs on the screen here, on the left-hand side. And like, that's a lot of tabs.
This is a very light day for us.
It's a light day. I was thinking, I'm like, it's not even that many.
because that Art Basel and I don't didn't
So
pull
funny.
as much as she. It
I
doesn't
know,
matter
right?
what has
I
happened.
actually uninstalled Farcaster or Warpcast and X from my phone because I found myself spending
Wow.
way too much time on it a couple of weeks ago, and yeah,
Wow.
so now I
Wow,
have it constrained to the computer.
Oh,
that's interesting.
I-
Go ahead. Sorry. Adrian.
so and I've done that anyway. So no, I was just going to go into Larry.
Oh, yes.
Do we want to keep
Yes.
doing news? Should
Let's
we
do it really quick with Larry
news?
just to kind of level set, and then let's shift to
Okay.
more Dune
So
discussion.
you may have seen this meme. It is the RFK Jr. Larry Farcasters as Cheryl meme. Actually think, okay, so who's Larry? Larry's a new bot that will deploy tokens for you. Built by, I guess, DF and
Steven Sill.
Sill.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's okay? And with their frustration that it seemed like snipers were coming in and picking up all of the clanker coins so quickly, he had an idea, what he called a dumb idea, to I guess there's some mechanics that will not let snipers buy. It has to get to a certain point before it gets released.
Like a time lock, I think, like 10 or 30 minutes or something like that.
15. It's really fast. 15. It's 15 minutes, but it allows you to join the party essentially. And if there's enough that hits a certain level, then it actually launches. If it doesn't, you get your funds back. So it's a pretty cool mechanic. And it is, I think, definitely helping to limit the ones that we're just going to pump and dump immediately. So it's interesting for sure.
I mean, if you've tried buying any of these like coins, it's really, 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 really tricky to like get Uniswap to, send a transaction, because it will just issue a new quote every 5 seconds, and it's just it's all being sniped away by bots.
Yeah. Anytime you have to do like refresh, accept this new one, accept this new one, accept this new one, like 5 times in a row, you're like, okay, why am I even doing this? It's not going to work out well. It's been interesting, but I do think this is an interesting solution to the issue. So we'll see how it goes, but it's been fun for sure. But that was one of those days I woke up and I'm like, what is this now? Like, I don't have time for this.
And you'll see there's many fewer Larry coins being launched.
Yeah.
Because of that.
Because they're not hitting the level, which is I think not a bad thing at all. You're giving it a better shot of the ones that do graduate up to actually do something. So it is pretty interesting. I literally I dropped a note in the group chat, like, can you guys not do anything with, just hold it on the generational wealth until Sunday, because I'm busy. I don't want to miss anything.
It is very tricky because every time you log into this app, you feel like you've missed out on something huge.
Yeah.
Which is sort of fuels this like feeling that there's too much going on.
Yeah.
For sure. Did you guys already talk about the crypto czar and new regulation and everything?
We did. Yeah. Do you have thoughts on that?
No, I just think it's cool that we'll have someone who knows crypto, who will actually think about crypto in the White House. Excited about that. So I just saw the background agent. So.
Oh yeah,
that was
my background.
The joke version. That was the joke version.
It's announcing Dan Romero.
Dan Romero. Okay. Yeah, even better choice.
Kind of. Except we'd lose him, but yeah, I agree. That was my comment. It was like, David Sachs is a good choice. It's not a bad choice, but I'm like, I think there are better crypto focused choices, but also, there's a lot worse ones too. So I'm fine with it. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting 4 years for sure.
Are you guys
I think
connected?
that's also why you're seeing things like Pudgy Penguins deciding they will drop a token, is because they're feeling a little more comfortable that it won't blow up everything else they're doing. So interesting. Sorry, Adrian, I cut you off. What were you going to ask there?
Matt, are you guys connected to any of the All In guys?
Not directly. I think Frederick was on like This Week in Podcasts, This Week in Startups a few weeks ago.
Oh,
I think that's with Jason. He's also in All In,
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Frederick and I moved to Switzerland, and Frederick wrote a post about it that went ultra viral and got pulled in on this podcast. So we know them a little bit.
So that was my earlier question was, are you both living in Switzerland now? And that's what I was, yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
we
that's-
are. Frederick and I, probably about 100 to 200 other Norwegian founders and executives live in Switzerland now because
Mhm.
of the sitting
And-
Norwegian government's tax hikes.
It's kind of huge. Like I wasn't aware of that until I started seeing a lot more in the news, I think due to not Nvidia,
Yeah.
Ozempic. I forget the name of the parent company. But that
Novo
was
Nordisk
really,
in Denmark. Yeah.
yeah, that one's in Denmark. So, but similar kind of taxing where it's like really kind of crazy. They're
Yeah,
not,
it's similar
yeah.
to like in Norway, it's similar to the like proposal on taxing unrealized gains that you had in the US, which just shatters the innovation economy, at least. Like you tax founders of companies who have raised a lot of money the same as people sitting on billions of dollars in cash, and you think that's fine, and it's not. Everyone's moving out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I do
This
a
I
little
mean,
week
explainer?
that could just be that could even just be unrealized gains could just be like the degen you're holding in your wallet. It's like,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like the degen you're holding in your wallet, you can actually sell. The
That's true.
stocks of a company where you've raised
Right.
money, you can't really sell. Like it's very, very
Right.
difficult to sell, and it's not worth what the government thinks it's worth, etc.
And it would
So,
be a huge hit on the business too. So
yeah,
it would
there's
actually
just no
tank the price if you start selling. So
Can we
exactly.
do? Can I do a little explainer on unrealized gains
yeah,
and
Please do.
capital gains tax?
go
So
for it.
typically, I'm really talking kind of in the US, but it's like you can buy into you can buy into a stock, and that stock can do really well. This is not even from a founder or equity of a company, but just kind of how capital gains works. Like when you buy into equities, if you're holding an investment on paper, that can go up a lot. So let's say you bought Nvidia
Yeah.
10 years ago and you're holding it. You don't pay taxes until you sell.
Right.
And so you have, and you're paying a capital gains tax. So along the way, you can say, oh, look, I'm making all this money, but you're not paying taxes on it. That's what's called an unrealized gain. It's really only a gain once you realize it and sell it. Alternatively, you can buy a stock, let's say, and it goes down, and you can have unrealized losses, and you're not really recouping anything. It's just when it's on paper, it's on paper. So we have in this, you have these founders who have built companies literally from scratch with blood, sweat, and tears, and they've made companies extremely, extremely valuable. We call them the richest people on earth. Their money is it's just in it's in the company,
Paper.
in the equity that they own. And the idea is we're going to tax them, it's the billionaires aren't paying their fair share. So literally, what is that like? It's not even, it's like, how does a founder pay taxes on money they don't really have?
They end up having to sell the stock. Yeah. And that's exactly, and it's funny because I think it gets framed with the billionaires, but like you can see any kind of founder is going to get caught up in that.
That's exactly the problem, where it's like, I think it's probably a legitimate sort of idea to try and tax like the ultra wealthy somehow. But what's happening in Norway is that they were just throwing every founder under the bus in order to try and tax like 50 individuals.
Wow.
Something like 50 billionaires or something like that. They want to tax, and they don't see how it's hurting like founders of companies even much smaller than Dune. Like I have conversations with founders who are now moving out of Norway to found their companies elsewhere, so they won't get into troubles later. places like the US, the UK, Switzerland, even Sweden, they don't want to start companies in Norway now because there's so much risk involved. If you are semi-successful, you're hit with a tax bill that you can't pay. And they also have an exit tax, which means that once you get that tax bill, you can't move. So it's tricky.
Wow, that's wild. Yeah, it really restricts, I think, innovation. And you're right, like people they're just not going to bother doing anything there. It's kind of what we saw with the crypto industry here. Was like there was so much like tamp down on that from the perspective of the SEC that they just moved offshore, pivoted to AI, like you saw. But there's a lot of it's going to be an interesting next few years to see how that shifts.
For sure. I think that's an interesting thing with maybe David Sachs is that, well, actually, if you have someone who understands startups and understands AI and understands crypto, maybe you can actually do something meaningful. I think the problem that we have in Norway is that we have people who don't understand startups at all. I'm sure they don't even know what a stock option is, and they make this legislation and they don't know the effects. So
I think they're just the nuance is getting lost completely, and they're not realizing that it's hitting much smaller businesses and having an impact on innovation. You're right.
Exactly.
Adrian, I know you have some casts pulled up, so I want to shift back over there.
Yeah, well, I pulled this one, which we'll have in our notes. This is the link to Frederick's blog post about leaving Norway, and I did see so. Oh, Matt, this is from you. You are building a EVM address activity API. It will cover transactions, calls, asset transfers, and common actions on chains. What else should it do? You want to talk about this?
Yeah, I'd love to talk about it. So a month ago, we threw our annual user conference, DuneCon, in Bangkok, just the day before DevCon. We had 900 people there. We announced many things, among them Echo, which is our developer platform. And the exciting thing about Echo, if you ask me, is that Dune has been an analytics company for 6 years. We have data from 93 chains plus Farcaster. And people primarily do analytics, although you can use our APIs. And actually, a lot of builders in the Farcaster economy use Dune's APIs. Like Dgen was built on Dune, the entire backend, all of it, which I'm really proud of.
It's amazing.
That happened, because the foresight of someone internally in Dune to like go out and like partner with someone at Farcaster to get the data, and now there are people building on it. But now we're sort of expanding our mission, which is making crypto data accessible to also mean developers. So we're building, instead of just building like analytical data, we're building like real-time operational data, which we hope will make it a lot easier to build apps. And it's a big step for us because we haven't done that before, and we have so much experience with data, and we think we can use that to build better APIs than other people and make it easier. So the activity API is just like, it's a third API that we're going to release. Essentially like, the first two is like token balances, transactions, and the third one is activity, which is essentially like, if you open up your wallet, it's everything you want to see about your wallet is token balances and activity. Activity is things like asset transfers, mints, DEX activity. So we'll have a whole range of like activity categorized and decoded. And we really think that it's like you get your activity across. We now support, I think, 35 or 40 chains on this endpoint, or these endpoints. And so you can get your whole cross-chain history, all the swaps, the bridges, the DEX interactions in just one call. I think it'll make it a lot easier to build apps on Farcaster, but also outside.
That's really cool.
So you're looking for feedback, like any developer would find an API useful for any activity on kind of any wallets across.
Exactly. I think like the target audience of this API in particular is like people who build wallets, but also people who build applications that show you, when you log in with your wallet, what's the activity you've done here in the past. that's what we're trying to solve. So one thing that I've successfully done on Farcaster before is like just engaging with the developer community there. It's been really, I think like one of the things I like with Farcaster is that it's very like down to earth and people just jam and reply as opposed to X, which feels more like you sort of have to like create a banger post in order to get any engagement. But on Farcaster, you can just have conversations, which I've enjoyed a lot.
Which especially for who you're wanting to reach, developers and things like that, like that's they're plentiful. It's a builder.
Exactly.
It's a builder energy for sure. So you've got a
And
lot of
everyone
folks.
is crypto native.
Yeah.
Everyone has found their way into Farcaster, which is very self-selected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, or Dan selected.
Yeah.
Well,
Early
that
on.
was Dan's kind of strategy in the beginning was to really just focus on developers. It wasn't like go for the masses. It was like, let me attract developers who will build on Farcaster. And I think that's still a lot in the DNA, though. There's a lot of now kind of, we get some farmers too, but there's still a lot of, I
Yeah.
think.
I think it's smart because that's like often how communities start out with like a core of people who are interested in the same sort of thing. I think back to how Dune started, it's just a bunch of people who got together on this website to do what they like best, which is like figuring out how protocols work and getting the data from it. And so from that, from like 5 people engaging with each other, building off each other's work, like a much, much larger community sort of spawned that now has encompasses a lot of different interests. But in the beginning, it was just like these like ultra nerds working together. So I think it's generally speaking a very, very smart strategy to like focus the network in the beginning. I see people like asking Dan on Farcaster, why don't we like try and get the blue sky people in here or something like that? And I think I agree that it would be a mistake. It would just like dilute what's special. Obviously, they also need to figure out more growth eventually, but yeah.
Yeah, we agree. I think we both agree with that. Like that the strategy is, although some people might get frustrated and there's little moments where I think, okay, we could do a little bit more in terms of marketing, but it's you can't flood this particular network with normies yet because you're right, the specialness will be lost on them, really. If they, I can understand like if they're not total, if they have just the slightest interest in crypto, it's going to be a better experience. And I've tried this with a few friends. This is how I'm sure of this at this point. Now, occasionally you get somebody who's a little outside of that, but they still have an interest in crypto. Like even if that's not how they grew their following on Farcaster, they still have that interest. Like Murtaza, who does global news, and Naomi, who's doing like her, showing her track and field journey to the Olympics and things like that. But they still have an interest in crypto as like in the background. So it sort of makes more sense, and they can appreciate being rewarded in crypto for what they're doing, like degen tips and things like that. And I do think like the Dune is really just a brilliant product from a perspective of there's so many ways that you can use it, but also just the openness of it is something that I think is really special. And I've shared this I teach a class on blockchain, and I always have a Dune activity. Yeah. So we always do a Dune activity where they have to find certain information and really explore it, because I think it's especially for students and those who are doing research, it's such a great tool. And it's not like anything else that's available where you have all this very open source sort of, feel, and also talking to them and saying, you could even build your own dashboard. None of them have, and none of them will, but it's kind of cool that you can, have that option of like, you could even, create this yourself, so to speak. So it's just really, just a cool, amazing product. What inspired you to build that like early on? Like what was the first thing that, got you to say, you know what we need this?
Well, it was a journey. I think we began thinking that we would sort of solve So we came from like an enterprise background essentially, and I was a data scientist. And the first thing that I tried to do when I got into Ethereum was like, well, my friend got me to invest in an ICO in 2017, and I did that. It was very scary and incredibly weird, the whole experience. And so I tried, just getting the data from it. And like in 2017, 2018, like the state of the art and figuring out if people are using a protocol or something would be to like go and count transactions on Etherscan. That was like the type of analytics that people were doing, like counting transactions by hand on a web page. And so coming from a job where I'd used like Amplitude, I'd done like massive data processing for this company, I thought, well, people, like if this get anywhere near successful, like the smart contracting on Ethereum, people are going to pull data and want to build dashboards and for product metrics. So the first idea was to build like a mix panel, which would be just like a preset number of dashboards for protocols. So you just paste in your smart contract address, and you would get, your retention, your activation rates, etc. But on the way there, we found like a couple of teams who just wanted to pay us for the data. So they paid us like thousands of dollars a month just to have access to this data. And we thought that was really neat. But it didn't grow at all. So we had like 3 customers, didn't grow, but they were all paying us like 1,000 to 3,000 a month, which is good deals when you like don't have a salary or anything like that. But it wasn't growing, and we really wanted to do this continue doing it full time. We didn't have any money and gone for a year without any funding or salary or anything like that. So we have this epiphany to like lean into what's unique about crypto, or about the Ethereum blockchain at least, which is it's all open. All the data is there in the open. So what if we make a tool that's not closed, but it's open? So essentially we took this idea of like an analytics tool, but you open it up instead of closing it. So everybody comes into the same account, more or less. Everyone can see the same queries, the same dashboards. And yeah, as I mentioned, there's just this like group of nerds that got together and found this interesting, and started sharing it on Twitter a lot. And then DeFi summer happened, and
Good timing.
it was very good timing because Dune was the only tool where you could just like add a contract address and you can build a dashboard immediately in like 15 minutes. Like all the other like analytics tools out there were like hard coded, and the dev team would like take a week to build a dashboard for it. But on Dune, people could just do that themselves. It's the beauty of user generated content. And so by the end of DeFi summer, Dune was pretty much everywhere, and we could finally raise some money and pay ourselves a salary, and continue on that mission.
I think it's really a shift from like a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset of like opening that up, because most of the time it is the value is in like closing it off, right, and controlling the data, and by opening it up it actually did the inverse. So I think it really speaks to that really unique approach, but I think it also is a very crypto centric approach, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, people in have said that, oh, it's such an obvious thing to do, but I think it wasn't obvious at all. And when we did it,
not at the time. Not at the time.
I don't think we get enough credit for that. How like actually going to our customers and saying, hey, you could continue to pay us if you want to, but we're going to make everything you pay us for free on the internet, and people can just go log into this web page and do the same thing that you pay $2,000 a month. We had to do that for 3 or 4 or 5 customers. I don't remember exactly, giving up all our revenue to build this. It was a gamble.
Huge gamble. Yeah, huge gamble. But it was a smart one, very smart one. I think it's similar to, in that way, to Farcaster, of building that where it's that similar thinking of like where Twitter, it costs a lot for the APIs, it's closed off, like they still control the data, all that kind of thing, and Farcaster being very open and encouraging builders. And then that creates a much more rich environment for because of it. So yeah, I think it's
and
a
same,
really smart.
and the data is still all open and free. Like I
Yeah.
don't need to use Dune. I can get the data, but I want to because it makes my life a lot easier. Same with like we
Right.
say with Nanar and like you can build on Farcaster. Hubs are there. And I don't really know any developers not using Nanar for Farcaster infrastructure, like for APIs. So it's,
Yeah, same kind
Yeah.
of thing.
I just, Matt, I followed your story. I kind of do love the Dune story and kind of how, just what your DNA is in terms of being lean and builder mindset. You guys have raised a lot more money. You've kind of survived several cycles. Do you still feel like you're running lean?
I think we're definitely running lean. Last time I checked, we had 39 people in Dune, and we support I think I don't have a percentage, but if what feels like most of the crypto economy,
Pretty
you
much.
know, with data, and so I think that's pretty lean. We recently announced an acquisition, well, at DuneCon actually, of a team with 10 people, so we'll grow a little bit, and we'll just approved our budget for the next year, so we're going to grow a little bit more even, but I still think we're very lean and running a very tight shop.
Oh, I missed the acquisition news. Congratulations.
Yeah, what's the acquisition? Can you speak a little bit more to that real quick?
Absolutely. So we've acquired a team called Small Excel. They've built a product called Sim.io. They have a Sim Studio and a Sim Explorer, so a block explorer and a real-time data product. And so we're excited about both those products, but the part we're most excited about is the real-time data processing. So what they allow you to do is essentially write transformation code in Solidity that can access the internals of the EVM. So as opposed to something like the Graph or Ponder or any of these other indexing solutions that are bound to RPC, the Sim Studio actually processes data inside the EVM, which means that you can like call smart contracts, you can peek at private variables from other contracts, etc. You can do a lot of things that you just can't with any other tool. So I'm really excited about the possibilities that will open up for both for like analytical use cases on Dune, but also, of course, for Echo, our developer platform.
Awesome.
Cool. Congrats. I know I want to let you go soon. Anything else? By the way, I may torture you with a lightning round of questions for fun, but before you go, anything else you think Farcaster users should know about Dune, or anything you want them to do today?
Well, I think one thing I would like people to know is that Farcaster data is on Dune. A lot of people are building apps and bots and whatnot using Dune's APIs. It's a good way to combine Farcaster data with on-chain data. So like a use case is often that you want to not just see like activity from a user on Farcaster, but you also want to tie it to what they're doing on chain. And Dune is a perfect place to do that, where you can just join them, all that information. As I mentioned, like DGen was, at least the first version, was built on Dune. I've seen great like Moxie dashboards. I know a handful of builders who like build apps using the Dune API on Farcaster. So if you didn't know that, I hope you know that now. And it's a good way to get started building like rich apps that work on Farcaster.
And the Farcaster Explorer dashboard that Ilemi created is amazing. It's just so good. And we had him on right after that launched. Just has so many, and it's kind of become part of a lot of the lexicon too. Like using some of the way he speaks about the channels and users has become the way we speak about them.
That's actually one of the catalysts for me to getting more active on Farcaster was that when Ilemi's dashboard labeled me as an NPC. I took offense. And
should we tell them?
Go ahead, say
That's, what the label you get is not your worth.
It's not your
you
worth.
That is a don't worry about what anyone says about you. You're a good person. None of this matters in real life. This is
Appreciate
something
it.
I'm constantly reminding people of our show. There's so
Uh,
many stupid status games. So
yeah.
it's all good.
Yeah, it's so funny. I mean, I was labeled
My
as a star at first, and I was like, I feel like I'm an influencer. Like, it was really fun. It was just, who cares? But it was that's really, hey, if it motivated you, that's good. That's a good
Yeah.
thing.
My favorite is Sloke's dashboard with the $5 USDC rewards on.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Mats, how do we
that's a good
get
one.
other crypto founders who are active on Twitter to come to Farcaster?
Invite them on the show and tell them they need a Farcaster profile and cast 10 times, something like that. Maybe. I think also an undermarketed fact of Farcaster is this like little community vibe. I mean, I think people try to like paint it as an equivalent to X when it's maybe it will be, but it's not right now. That's a totally different vibe, and it allows you to connect to your users and customers and other people in the crypto space in a totally different way, in like more of like a one-to-one way and less of like a one-to-n way. I think that's how I think about it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Adrian, we need to let him go. So what do you want to do, a really quick lightning round?
I would love to.
Lightning.
Matt, you got
Okay.
5 more minutes for a fun lightning round?
If it's fun, I have 5 minutes.
Okay, we do this for all of our guests. It's the only rule is you can't think, you just have to answer.
Oh.
But the first question is the question I ask every guest because like you said on Farcaster, like it feels different than other social media. And that's what we say is like Farcaster is a social network, not social media. So it kind of has, group chat vibes. And one of the things that happens a lot on Farcaster is this URL to IRL pipeline, which is there's tons of people meeting for the first time on Farcaster and then meeting in real life. And we're meeting for coffees and become friends.
Co-founding businesses, things like that.
Yes, Nanish Prof and I met and started doing Farcaster together. But when and how did you make your first internet friend? So someone you met first online and later became a real friend.
I'm not allowed to think, but I actually have to think here.
You can think. This is the only one.
That's the only question
Everything
that you
else
need to
is
think.
easier.
The rest of them are more. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
If it helps, most of the time the answer we get is some kind of video game or Facebook or because of, college or something. That's like usually the answers we get or somewhere in that ballpark.
I'm all the way back to like early days of the internet. There was like a Norwegian website called sol.no, sun.no. And I'm pretty sure it was a bad website. Like I think pervs hung out there to like connect with kids.
Oh,
but I was there and I made friends and we like agreed to let's go online at 5 p.m. on Friday and chat again. I don't remember any of them now, but like tried to make friends online. I probably was like, I don't know, 10 or something like that.
Oh,
it's the
that
first.
kind of sounds like what's that Neopets one or Club Penguin or something like that, like where it's geared more towards kids.
In hindsight, I feel like it's
dangerous.
It was a dangerous website, very much so. But I had some fun there as well.
As a parent, like when my daughter was like 10 or so, she started meeting like Swifties online, and I had a heart attack and I was screaming at her. And then like fast forward, and now I meet all my friends online, and I'm like, oh, okay, but she was 10. So
she was 10. It was different.
Yeah.
Okay, now the real lightning round.
Yes. What's your favorite channel on Farcaster?
Climbing.
Which one?
Climbing.
Oh, climbing.
It's been very unfortunately, like I think it fell victim to like the change in like how channels work not very recently, but like a couple of months ago. Before that, it was like 5 posters, and they were all like pretty good climbers, and I felt like like this tiny little crypto slash climbing
That's cool.
group.
I gotta
Yeah.
check that out. I bet there's probably a higher climbing collab there, just climbing naturally higher.
Oh,
Okay.
that's a good
Exactly.
point.
Yeah.
Morning person or night owl?
Morning.
What's your favorite holiday?
Christmas.
What's a country you want to visit next?
Tricky. I don't know. Maybe China.
Concert or sporting event?
Concert.
If you were to write a book, what would it be about?
Engineering.
Football or soccer?
Ask the name for the correct sport.
I love asking Europeans this question because they don't know how to answer it. This is a little meta because we had some jokes on Farcaster about the name of the sport, but then you can also, maybe I mean American football, maybe I don't. So you have to interpret this as you want.
The European football.
All right. Camping or hotel?
Hotel.
Do you eat a kiwi with the skin on or off?
On.
Ooh.
And
But you have to rinse it first.
Yes. We're not animals here. we have to.
Animals.
What is the last thing you bought with crypto?
I donated to EFF yesterday.
Oh, nice.
Electronic Freedom Frontier, which is an organization that works for privacy and electronic rights.
Very cool.
Awesome.
Thank you. That is it. I'm going to let you go.
And
so bad at letting people
Mikado was like, not the Dune channel? I think we all thought you were going to say the Dune channel. Yeah, not climbing. That one too. That's your other favorite.
In my defense, it's a lightning round. I have to say the first thing that comes to mind.
But I have to say, Matt, this is the first time we're meeting, but I knew I would like you. But this is why I like when we talk about kind of other nerds. Obviously Dune, but like people have interests and nerdy interests. And it's I'm so much happier that there's actually a topic that you like. And that's why you're a Farcaster than just like my company. So I appreciate that.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Are you still caffeine free? And how are the migraines?
Oh, I'm past the migraines. I'm more than 2.5 weeks in on my caffeine-free journey. I had a decaf coffee today. It was good. But now I'm like, my point is that, or my problem is that I'm a very like persistent guy. And so when I start doing something or stop doing something, my mind just wants to continue it. It's like a streak, like a streak on Farcaster.
Yeah.
I have now, close to a 3-week streak. And even though my plan was to get back to drinking coffee again, I'm just like, I just want to keep that streak going. So now all I'm thinking about is like, what's the moment where it's worth breaking my streak? Like, what's the drink? What's the occasion? Is it with friends? Am I alone? I just keep fantasizing about the first piece of caffeine I'll have when I break the streak.
That's interesting. That's really interesting.
It's weird.
It seems like if you can find a good decaffeinated substitute, you'll probably be fine. But that's interesting.
I feel great without caffeine. But
you could do a streak in like the coffee channel where you say every day. Still haven't had one.
You can't say every day you're not having coffee in the coffee channel.
No coffee today.
Yeah.
Keeping my streak.
Matt, thank you for hanging out. I'm sorry we kept you a little longer. We're very bad with time management. I could have told you that before.
It was a lot of fun. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. We appreciate it.
Looking forward to seeing you in Farcaster. Keep posting. Keep casting.
See you soon. Bye.
See you soon. Bye-bye. That was funny.
Why are we so bad with time?
I don't know.
I feel bad.
We used to be really good. There's just too much going on, and he was just too interesting.
We're an hour into our stream. We barely even did any of the news.
I know. We got to fly through. Let's do a quick quick
we-
lightning round of the rest of the news.
because there are some announcements and
Yeah.
stuff.
So
I really enjoyed him on the show, and I'm glad he came out. And I had been following just kind of Dune as a story, like how they've built, and it does feel a lot. There's so many similarities, I think, from a kind of like builder mindset from Farcaster, like no tokens.
Definitely.
We're lean. It's just building. Don't listen to the haters. I think that those guys are great. And
yeah.
All right. So should we do a few announcements? What time do you have to be at your next?
I'm good. It's just, whether or not the audience is still good. I'm fine.
We love you guys.
We love you all.
No one's
Keep
forcing
going.
them to stay on.
All right, keep going.
Okay. So guess what?
But also, you're not sharing your screen if you don't realize that.
I know. Guess what?
Go ahead.
Tis the season
It's the season
for gifting.
It really is.
Thanksgiving is over, and
We officially sound like infomercial. This is not actually an ad read. Totally sounded like one.
Why would anyone sponsor our show when we just do ad reads for free for all of our friends? Anyway,
it sounded like an ad read as you were starting that.
All right, I'm gonna fly through. Just if you missed this, guess what? There's a new frame. You can anonymously gift someone a humankind candle. Have someone on Farcaster you want to appreciate from afar pay for a candle, and I'll handle all the reach out and the nitty gritty shipping details. So royalaid.eth built this for Samantha, and how cool is it to see people actually buying like friends?
Yeah, and there's a little
candles.
gift bot. Yeah, which is cute.
And I think it's cool. And as much as I love Farcaster, I just constantly I really love the intersection of physical stuff and IRL.
And speaking of, go back. Well, wait, were you going to talk about that she's going to be on tonight with you?
No.
Did you get that far?
But,
yeah.
So
she's tonight at 6 p.m. Samantha, that's going to be the URL version of Farcaster Fridays. Is going to be Samantha doing some candle making, talking about all kinds of things and talking about Farcaster and what she's got going on, along with you, and doing a little chill session. So if you've never watched her like do the candle making, I highly recommend, if you don't have anything going on, give it a watch, or watch it on the recording tomorrow, because it's really fun. So yeah, so that's tonight, 6 p.m. Eastern.
Yes, come hang out with us. This from Kenny: celebrate the holidays with DGen. We are running the biggest on-chain gift drive of all time, and it's happening on DGen chain. The rules: take a pic while dropping off a present at a gift drive. Post the pic on social media and share the name of the gift drive, the organization it is being run by, and what you donated as a gift. Upload the same pic via POIDH. Do we remember how I think he actually POID. That's
POID.
pics or it didn't happen, for those who are new around here. And include a link to your social media post. The initial prize is 15,555 DGen. That's around $290, but this is an open bounty, so anyone can add more funds. Entries are allowed through December 25th. Single grand prize will be announced before the end of the year. So it's cool. If you're doing
Very
stuff
cool
and contributing to a gift drive, might as well participate.
Might as well maybe earn some DGen for it. Very cool.
I don't know if people saw this. There is the Farcon NYC capsule collection. One is live. I think that's pronounced live. All proceeds from this drop will go to the Builders Fund, which will provide scholarships for builders to attend Farcon in May. Made for anyone who loves the Farconomy, the internet friends, or simply going higher. So click through from the Farcon. There's a merch shop. They're very cool outfit. Like, it's not Farcon specific. It's kind of Farcaster themed. So even if you're not planning on going to Farcon, buy this. It's, holiday season, and funds are going to support like scholarship fund to get builders. So Did you buy
And I
anything?
bought a
I know
hat.
you
Did
did.
you buy anything? I bought a
Yes,
hat.
I bought I want to say the higher t-shirt.
The t-shirt with the horse.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I was gonna buy the other one that said Internet Friends on it.
Was that the hoodie?
There was the
Maybe?
long sleeve
Long
t-shirt,
sleeve. Okay.
but I like a horse, so.
I'd like a horse.
But I did that, so go buy that. Okay, this was super cool. So we saw Breck build his Togger as a hackathon project like 2 weeks ago. He's continuing to build it out. And apparently it can now take clips while someone is live and create animated GIFs that you can then cast. And this is so cool.
So cool.
And
Very
Cameron
cool,
and
Breck.
Kristen are now an animated GIF.
I love it. And we need to experiment more with Togger and with Stream. So it is on my list of things that I don't have time to do, but I really want to. There's an actual list for that.
Can we talk about what's happening at the end? So it is like Thanksgiving was late this year, which means like the time between Thanksgiving and Christmas just seemed like super short.
Yep.
There's so much everyone's trying to get done between our inbox right now. Like the number of people we're trying to get on our show, trying to run Cast App, trying to test everything new. We're going to get there. It may or may not happen in the next week.
Yeah.
But
I feel like a little chicken with my head cut off kind of moment, but it's okay. It's also fun, just to be clear. It's like, I love this energy. It's a lot of fun, but it's also a little overwhelming. So if you are in my DMs,
Bitcoin going to 100K, was that the last time?
We didn't even talk about that.
How did we even, that was not even, oh my God.
Anymore. Time is it means nothing.
Crypto and Farcaster is going to be really fun for the next foreseeable future.
Yeah.
So
it was really funny. So one of the friends of mine who last year was staying in like a hostel here for Art Basel sent me a picture of where he's staying this week, and I'm like, oh, we can tell Bitcoin hit 100K because he's very
from
big
hostel
into
to 5-star hotel in 1 year.
It's like this beach view. It's like on the beach and it's like high rise. I'm like, oh, okay, I see. Bitcoin hit 100K. You got better digs this year, don't you? Because he's really big in ordinals and Bitcoin and all that. So yeah, hilarious. I was like,
large.
Let's see where we're at.
We literally don't have one single cast pulled about the price of Bitcoin, and it's not because we're Ethereum maxis. We love Bitcoin.
No, we love Bitcoin. I didn't even think about it. I don't know why. That's so funny. I think because we were so close to it, like we were talking about it like over a week ago, maybe 2 weeks, whatever it was, when it was like this close, and then Jim Cramer ruined it. Yeah.
It was Wednesday night. It was really fun on the timeline. It was like a moment of celebration. It was, we love times like that. Yeah. And then I guess it just got overshadowed by our love of David Sachs last night.
I think so.
That's the timeline. I don't know. Okay. This from Yasik, announcement for DGens. Excited to announce instant bridging via Stargate and Layer 0 OFT standards swap natively on DGen L3 base ETH, mainnet, and Arbitrum. More change coming soon. There were some announcements, check show notes, check this cast about how to do it. And I think there were some instructions that if you have maybe USDC or wrapped ETH or wrapped DGen on a DGen, like there's things you need to do if you were on the DGen chain. So if you're a DGen, check that out. And I wanted to give this a shout out from Steve Dillon Dev. This week I built hellobase.dev, where developers can say hello world on chain for the first time, specifically designed for developers who have never touched a blockchain. This app will walk them through the fundamentals of blockchain, Ethereum, and Base. It will also let devs deploy and interact with a simple greeting contract without ever leaving the page, thanks to Coinbase Smart Wallets. If you're a Web3 developer and have Web2 peers, please feel free to share. The goal is to help developers understand the power of blockchain and make it accessible by speaking their language. So this is like, if you're a Web2 developer and it's like, what's a simple hello world style kind of tutorial to deploy your first smart contract, check this out. Obviously, it's on Base. Last time I started seeing a lot of these, in kind of last cycle, it was all mainnet. It was much, more expensive. And so it's
Yeah.
really cool to see. I think Base is a great way to onboard new
That's
developers.
really cool. I hadn't seen that. I missed that one. So this you're gonna have to share separately. Well,
Okay.
that one. Yeah.
So
When you're ready.
let's do this. Let's see. How do I'm gonna
remove it and then you can fix it. So you need to share tab in order to get the audio. But I'll set it up. So
okay.
So there was a little back and forth between Justin talking about Creed and then Miriam saying, if this post gets 5 likes, I will sing a Creed song, a Creed cover. So, and we're not hearing it. So make sure, and make sure it's all the way up.
And
When you are with me, I'm free. I'm careless, I believe. Like all the others, we'll fly. This brings tears to my eyes. Hello, my friend, we meet again. It's been a while, where should we begin? Feels like forever. Hold me now. I'm 6 feet from the edge, and I'm thinking maybe 6 feet ain't so far down. With arms wide open under the sunlight. Welcome to this place. I'll show you everything. Can you take me higher to a place where I'm blind and see? Can you take me higher to a place with golden streets? So let's go there. Let's make our escape. Come on, let's go there. Let's ask, can we stay? Can you take me higher to a place where blind men see? Can you take me higher to a place with golden streets?
Amazing. It's just stunning.
So good.
So, Miriam, so good.
Holy cow. And all it took was 5 likes.
Yeah, I know. I was like, I would have asked for more, but I don't know. Maybe she was going to get him, but that's amazing. And the humankind candle in the background.
Yes. And that got that did get a recast from Dan.
Nice.
And
nice.
That was awesome. All right.
Yeah, it was really
By the
good.
way, I'm not
incredible.
I won't play this video also, but this is SwampNet's follow-up to her exercise video. And I don't know if everyone's had a chance to see this. But if you think there's not interesting content on Farcaster, you're wrong. These are 2 hilarious videos.
Yeah. So her workout where she was doing jumps,
the hops,
so funny. I was dying, absolutely dying. The hops, because she's doing and so I'm going to do 3 hops. She's hopping like a bunny.
It's actually funny. She did a second. The follow-up video is where she said she's taking a rest day after the hops, and she shows you how to sleep.
It was 3 hops, and then it was So if you're not following SwampNet, you really need to be, because you're missing out. You're really missing out.
Yes, you really are.
Follow her for your fitness tips if you want to.
Okay, final few things. I'm Obviously, we're showing this. So this is from me on base.
Obviously.
GM, this is your to-do list for the day. 1, check your eligibility on the Magic Eden app. 2, watch your Spotify Wrapped. And 3, compete with me to be more locked in on Farcaster news. You can't.
You really can't. But we appreciate you trying.
Okay, but also what's number 1, 2, and 3? Like, how dare me on base give us credit?
Oh, you're
for being
upset
the
that we're number 3?
most listened to podcast? If All In is above us, not going to be happy.
Realizing that's what you were talking about. Like that it was we were number 4.
Yeah. I don't
Okay,
even.
so me on base, we need to know what were the other 3 that you listen to more than us. But that's funny.
Yes.
By the way, I have not casted yet about my Spotify Wrapped because I'm trying to think of the best way to do it. I feel like it needs to involve some kind of guessing because there's literally no way anyone is going to guess my number 1 artist. There's just no way. You'll have a better, easier time guessing my number 1 podcast than you would my artist. So if you want to throw it in the chat, if anybody gets it correct, I will give you a big old
Cher?
But no, but Cher is my number 1 song. So that was good. That was a good guess.
I've been on a really weird Cher kick lately. I don't know
That's
why,
really-
but I've been
really
listening
funny.
to Cher on like repeat in my house. Don't ask. Okay.
So my number 1 song is from Cher, but not my number 1 artist.
But by the way, I will give a shout. So there was a Magic Eden airdrop. There were instructions on how to claim it on Twitter. JC cast it and was like, "Dude, this is too hard." No, so
It's too hard.
if I have to read like a 12 thread, so me on base casted a nice little tutorial with information, very
Awesome.
very hidden in the last thread. Last comment is cast is not intended for U.S. audiences. Yet. Come on, David Sachs.
Yet. David Sachs. David
You're
Sachs.
our
can
only
fix
hope,
this.
David Sachs.
We want airdrops, David Sachs. We want airdrops.
Oh,
my
God.
that's
How
so
many times
funny.
have I said David Sachs in
I know.
this hour and 17 minutes?
If you asked me anytime yesterday, pretty much, we'd be discussing David Sachs at all today.
Have I told you how much I've always loved David Sachs? And he's been my number 1 favorite all-inner since the beginning of time.
That's hilarious.
Okay. Anyway, next week there's a Purple Town Hall, Purple members only. I'm calling this out. Maybe if you're in Purple, you already knew this, but this is like I'm having some issues with my feed lately, and things are not showing up appropriately. The algo did not know I wanted to see this. This was buried, so maybe you're like me. But if you're not in Purple, here are things you should do. Go pick up a Purple token and get in Purple and come to the town hall.
And Purple is one of our sponsors for Cast Out, along with DGen. And we have a few other sponsors coming in for challenge sponsors very soon. Yellow, Alpha Friends, the Bricks Bounty and Oil, and Ponder. And I think I probably missed one other one.
Tell me Ponder.
And Based. I know. I've been really busy. And Based Evolution. So that's Garrett's project too. So amazing. Yeah. There's a whole bunch of stuff that I have not had time to even announce.
Do you like
my
sweatshirt?
DMs right now are insane. Yes. Nice sweatshirt. Perfect.
Yes.
Love it.
And by the way, you might think you can just DM me. A lot of people do this. Like, hey, Prof isn't answering, and they DM me. I'm like, I can't help you. I don't know what's going on. She's not answering me either. So
yeah, I can't get her either. I'm trying. I literally was up till like 2 a.m. Wednesday trying to get stuff done. It's like just out of control. But I'm really excited. It's gonna be fun.
All right,
anyway,
I have 2 more
back
casts.
to this. Okay, go
2
ahead.
more casts for today's news. This from JTGI, fully hyped and entering builder mode. This almost made me cry. I'm so happy. JTGI, I literally love you. A few months ago, he was like, decided to take a little hiatus and kind of get off socials and stop building. He open sourced Modbot or Automod.
It was Automod, yeah.
Automod, which
now it's Modbot.
And he's back. So welcome back. We are excited.
He's in builder mode. This is exciting. I think maybe it's the Frames V2 that got him inspired.
Oh, I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. But JTGI, when you've built something in builder mode and you want to talk about it, we'd always love you to come by.
Yes. Okay. And last cast for the day from Priyanka. Wish I'd seen this a few weeks ago, sharing for anyone else who might need this as a reminder. And it's a little poem. Shall I read it?
Yes, you shall.
Okay. Get into my poem reading voice. Just kidding. I don't have one. Okay. Be careful. Someone who is confused about what they want can cause you to become confused about what you're worth.
There you go.
Let that sink in.
Yeah. Happy Friday. I do love that. And I wish that is incredible advice that I wish I had gotten 20 years ago, not just a couple days ago. Or maybe 30 actually, or 40. Long time ago. Yeah, long time. Would have been useful through my teens and 20s for sure. Amazing. So very exciting. So tonight, we do need a GM. We've had a couple of GM Farcaster interns, but they were actually interns. But we understand what you're saying, Mikado. But you'll be surprised. Real interns are actually more work. So because I need a lot of direction, and right now I don't have time to give anybody direction about anything.
Yes. But by the way, but if you're a real intern, should we clarify what we might? But if you're a real intern out there and somehow you think you can offer us help without being a lot of work for us, let us know.
So real intern versus see, now we're talking. Okay, Miriam. Let's chat. I want to be the cast out intern. So yeah, as opposed to, for those who may not realize, like a me on base or polymarket intern, these are very skilled professionals just pretending to be straight out of college, not knowing what they're doing. So yeah. Ooh, wait, Naomi is an intern. Do we know which intern she is? Whoops, showed the wrong one. Naomi, do we know which intern you are? Or are you keeping that secret? That's the other part of the Farcaster intern lore, is that you stay anonymous. So,
by the way, intern accounts are permissionless. No one can stop you. That's actually true. Someone can launch a Farcaster intern account and just start, just like someone can launch a random arrow account, or someone can launch a GM Farcaster intern. We can't stop you.
We can't stop you.
But
can't stop you at all. Doesn't mean we're going to pay you, but we can't stop you.
What's your favorite share song?
So my favorite share song is not necessarily the song that I was, for some reason, that was on repeat for me. So the one that was at the top of my list was A Woman's World, because I have a playlist, and that's the first one. But my favorite share song is actually her version of I'm No Angel, which was by her second husband, Greg Allman. So that is a totally weird circle, but I also I love all her stuff, honestly. Love so many of her things. Strong Enough is another good one. So
that's been the one that's been on my repeat. Strong Enough.
Love Strong Enough.
I don't know why. Yeah.
Believe used to be my ringtone. I would wake up in the morning to that for a while. So yeah, big Cher fan. But nobody yet has guessed my my top artist. I think I'm going to run something for that. I have to. It'll be fun.
Should we know? Are there clues?
No. There's one clue. One clue that I can think of, and it is almost a year ago would be the clue.
Is it Kendrick Lamar?
No, but he's on my top 5. So you're getting closer. Yeah. It's on my top 5. Kendrick Lamar is on my top 5.
Okay.
The artist one is definitely harder to guess. So, but more to come.
All right.
Okay, so today is Farcaster Fridays. If you are anywhere in the world, there may be a Farcaster meetup happening near you. So check the Farcaster Fridays channel. If you are in Miami for Art Basel, we are meeting at the Gates Hotel at 5 p.m. right before the Pizza Dow party. So come on. Miriam wants some DGen. Miriam wants some DGen. You got it. J. Cole.
How did she get it?
I don't know. She just guessed.
Wow.
Good job. Good job, Miriam.
I literally don't know who J. Cole is. So now I don't know anything. You guys know I don't know anything.
The third person
So like,
in the beef, the Kendrick Lamar Drake beef, it first started out with Kendrick Lamar versus Drake and J. Cole, and J. Cole's like, I'm out. I don't want anything to do with this.
okay.
Yeah.
Smart guy.
Very smart guy. Very amazing artist. So my son, yes, exactly. Exactly.
Okay.
Miriam
Smart.
Miriam figured out the clue. There was one clue. I went to the concert with my son
Amazing.
back in January, and it was Drake and J. Cole. And the reason we went was for J. Cole. So yeah. Anyway, so my son is often in the car with me. So that's his favorite artist. So we're always playing it. So that's why my song list and my artist list completely different.
Right. My kids share my Spotify account too sometimes, like, or in the car. So like my music is all theirs. And
Yeah. Yeah. So my artist list is J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, Drake, Eminem. That's mine. That's definitely mine. And there was I forget what the fifth one was, but they're all like in that same genre. Okay, so back to Farcaster Fridays. If you are in Miami, come to the Gates Hotel 5 p.m. We're gonna meet up in the Lil Nouns Lounge, which is right off the lobby. By the way, the Gates Hotel has all this incredible art that I'll be sharing later. I just haven't had a chance to load it up. And a lot of it's Bitcoin art, which is pretty cool. And then we're going to go to the Pizza Dow party, which is also there. So, and then tomorrow I get to go to the Magic Eden house and hang out with me on bass. I'm very excited. So that'll be fun.
have fun because I've seen pictures and that house looks ridiculous. It looks ridiculous.
It's going to be ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh, and then also, so if you can't go to any IRL Farcaster Fridays, join Adrian and Samantha here for some candle making for Farcaster Friday. And I'm also going to try to jump in from my little meetup and say hello and have everybody say hello who's with me in Miami.
Awesome.
So that's my plan. Hopefully it works. All right, everybody. Yeah, it's been a little bit longer than 29 minutes. How shocking.
It's Friday.
It's Friday. It's Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. It's been a great week. I think the vibes are really, really pretty good right now. Pretty good. Little shout out to Larry.
Pretty good.
Good. Little Larry shout out there.
There's been a lot. There was another Curb reference that came up. I forget what it was. Hoops. There was some Curb reference the other day.
Yeah, there was something else the other day. You're right. I can't remember.
Wasn't how to do with Larry.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Right, pretty good.
By the way, if we don't end, the show's going to be too long and it'll be too big to upload as an NFT on Zora. So
I use the compression thing all the time. It's fine.
Okay.
I'll get that done. All right, everybody. It's been a blast. We adore you, and we will see you on the timeline. And hopefully I'll see some of you in Miami tonight. And with that, we're going to wrap it. So bye-bye.